degree. The reason I prefer post time skip is just because main factor of why I like One Piece was enhanced. It's much more hype. There's it's higher
That's the
stakes.
stuff
No,
that
that's
Worf
what
doesn't like.
you think. No, that's what you
Yeah.
think, Kwame. No, Kwame, you
Yeah.
think you like One Piece because of the hype, but you don't. You don't even know yourself. You don't even know why you like One Piece. You think it's the you think it's
Are
the
you my-
hype,
Because
bro.
you're
Are you my
slave.
dad,
No,
fam?
you think it's the hype.
You said
Kwame,
you're
let
a
me tell
slave.
you.
Man sounds like
Let
my
me
dad,
tell-
fam. Man say you don't even know why you like this. A follower.
No, Kwame, I'm telling you the truth. That you think
Them
you
Ghanaian
think
them,
you
I say
like.
you're a
No, hold on.
follower. You don't even know why you like it.
Kwame, let me tell you this. Let me tell you, you think you like One Piece because of the hype. Let me tell you, the hype the hype only sort of supplemented the reason as to why you like it. But what you don't know, you actually liked the main reason why you like One Piece is because of the characters and the story. But
Hold
it's
on,
because it has
let me
great
jump
hype.
on. I'm gonna help
Let me
you. I'm gonna
finish,
help
man.
you.
But let
I'm
me
gonna
finish.
help you.
But because you love, because the fights, because the story was so great, and then the hype is also so good, you feel like, oh, it's just the hype alone, but it's not. The hype just makes you love One Piece even more. But the main reason why you actually love it, that you might not know, is actually the story and the character. Take away the story and the character, you wouldn't love One Piece. I'm telling you.
You can't do that though.
Okay, wait.
You
Pause.
can't do it.
Yes, I
But
can.
hold on,
Pause there.
sorry. Let me jump this out because I want to jump in. Because I
I've got
wanted
a
to say in
reply.
the group chat, but I didn't want to type. Hold on, I just want to
Okay, go
jump
on.
in.
Yeah,
quickly.
say that first. Because
The
it's
thing
my
is
part. I
that
want to
why
reply
I
to.
understand what Worth is saying because correct me if I'm wrong, Worth. Yeah, Worth seems like he prefers it when the story is driven by the characters, right? And a lot of pre-time skip is driven by the main is driven by the characters, especially the main Straw Hats, if that makes sense. For example, East Blue
Yep.
is very character driven, but it's introduction arcs to a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah. Every time we get to
And
an
then-
island, we
and then in
pick
some
up
of
a
the other
crewmate
arcs,
and that
it's
kind of
very
thing.
emotionally driven. Worth likes emotion being put into arcs, so we can kind of like that's how you kind of grips people. For example, Water 7.
No, it's how story and movies actually grip people. It's
yeah,
like
I
you
know,
go to
but
the story
like,
to be moved. It's the emotion.
of
It's not
course,
the
but
hype.
it's like, yeah, I didn't say anything about the hype. I'm saying it seems like you prefer it to be driven by the characters and the story gets intertwined with that. But the post time skip, it's a bit different because it's not about the
And
characters.
I know what you're trying to say, and I get that. Look, and I get that because we've already had the introductions of the main characters, so you can't then again have more stories about the main characters. So I get that, but why? See, but why
I'm not
has the
disagreeing with what you're
standards of
saying. I'm on your side.
storytelling? But why has the? Do you know what it is? I just don't care. It's just that's what it is. I care pre time skip, but the current characters post time skip, I don't care about any of them. Even if you're not going to have the Straw Hats as your
Do you know what I'm
the
saying?
main focus, but we should still care about the characters post time skip. Like we should still care about what the Straw Hats care about post time skips. And personally, I don't care about what the Straw Hats care about post time skip. It just hasn't hit me. And I understand that it has to be different, but
also the reason I'm saying it has to be different is just because of the genre it's in.
Let me just
but the standard is so
on the first point that Worth made in terms of knowing what I like kind of thing. Entirely what you said was just 100% wrong, because my enjoyment from One Piece.
You don't know about character.
Let me finish. My enjoyment for One Piece.
It's pretty arrogant what I said. I know, but it's funny, and
it's 100% funny. It's 100% funny. But
no, it's pretty arrogant as well. Come on.
I'm
say that I know why. To say that you don't know why you like One Piece.
Yeah. But no, but my enjoyment for One Piece is only like 20% the story and like all that kind of thing. I analyze it when I read it and to make sense, because obviously no one wants to watch or read something that doesn't make sense. So in terms of analyzing Oda's writing style and was this foreshadowed and that kind of thing, I do analyze that as I read along and as I watch and kind of thing, and see if Haki is depicted properly here and there, or devil fruits make sense. And
that's so important. Consistency.
I'm saying I do look for the consistency, so I get that. But my main enjoyment, honestly, bro, if you were to ask me one scene that shows you, or that I can show you to prove that post time skip is better than pre time skip, one of my favorite scenes is when them man meet back up at Sabadi and Luffy's there first, and then a PX1 from the distance shoots something at Luffy, and man just turns his head to the side, and then man just gets up like, oh, gotta get up, jumps up and boops this man into the floor. My man bounces off the floor. That is one of my favorite scenes ever in One Piece.
But that's the type of stuff that Worf doesn't care about.
I care about it, but just not as much as storytelling and the character.
I'm saying for me, I'm all about the hype. The story and all these elements are just background noise to me.
But One Piece wouldn't be One Piece if it was just that, though.
Just wait. For me, these other elements that we care about are just background noise to build up the hype. So that's why.
And you know what Kwame's saying? You know the stuff that Kwame's saying. That's what makes shonen, and it's just part of the genre, unfortunately.
No, I get that. I'm not denying that.
So wait.
I get that.
So when we talk about like characters like Kaido and Kaido not living up to that kind of thing, it's because I don't care about like, oh, if ACOC really affected him, or was it Rio, or was it just the Gear 5 flare, or did Luffy really grab lightning? Is it that kind of... I'm just there for that lightning grab in Gear 5 was cool as fuck. When Luffy was running
for sure.
When Luffy was running on the floor and it turned like Tom and Jerry and the thing was going like noodles and all of that, that was trash. When I see Kaido and he can't even exchange 10 punches in a row with Luffy on that level, just because before I can wipe you, you have your level up and it's not competitive at all anymore because I can hit you and all that, but I'm not even dealing damage like that. There was no way Kaido could win the fight there. Katakuri's one, there was ways he could do it. So I was still hyped. Inside the main fight, they were still hyping me up. For Kaido's
your reason for liking One Piece, yeah, I can't what's the word?
Last thing. You know the war arc. I'm not
discredited.
certain.
Don't make me forget.
I'm not certain. You guys can check with Kia and double check on this. The war arc in after Impel Down in Marineford started around episode, I think it was episode 420 to like 450 or something like that. Because I remember 450 we were definitely in the war. But in that war, since that war, and they said, oh, Kaido was going to come to the war and the Shanks meet up, didn't it? Whatever happened is that they have hyped up Kaido so much. I'm all about the hype.
No, listen. I'm not saying the hype. I'm not saying this is shonen. So I'm not saying the hype isn't like, it's cool. Gear Second is so cool. Take away everything and you look at Gear Second.
On the roof with Bluno?
Oh yeah, you're like, what? Gear Second? Like, what? Fam, I'm not denying those things. Those are the things that make shonen. But what I'm telling you, what makes One Piece stand out as a shonen isn't those cool things. What makes it stand out is it's cool. It's the story, and the world building is greater than all the manga. It's greater than all the manga. But then, do you know why the hype moments is even greater? Do you know why the fights are? Do you know why the hype moments is even greater? Huh?
Because of the foundation of what you just said.
Because of the foundation of the world building and the characters. It's the foundation that makes One Piece, not the fights itself. Not these cool, you know what I mean? And I'm saying that it's now become more Hollywood.
It's tipped. The scales have tipped.
You know what I'm saying? The scales has tipped exactly. And it's not.
I've talked to Worth about this before, and it's similar to the.
And I can't discredit. I can't discredit your reasons for enjoying it. Listen, I can't discredit your reasons for why you like one. I definitely, I know I can't.
Remember when me and you spoke about the Naruto effect?
Yeah.
I spoke to Worth about this. One Piece is doing the Naruto effect, essentially. But it's almost difficult to kind of overcome that.
No. But I'm saying that's where you guys are missing me. Up on that point, for me, that's a different point. In terms of enjoyment, I agree. It's like reading a book. If you don't read the first 20, 30 pages and you just skip to the middle and read to the end, obviously the foundation is what sets
To
it.
be
The
fair, a
build
lot
up
of
is,
people actually done that One Piece where they actually skipped quite a lot. And
that's what I'm saying. The foundation is the builder. It's the main. It's like a house. You can't build a house just on the first floor kind of thing. You have to have the solid foundation, and then it leads on to a better story, and it gets better and better. It develops. Obviously, that's what I'm saying. When you at that point, I'm with you. The part in which I'm saying in terms of post time skip is just maybe not so much arc to arc, but moment to moment. I think we've had more moments post time skip.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's moments missing its core. The fundamentals of
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I agree with.
I think that's difficult.
That. No, that's what I was gonna say. I agree with Worth on that. In that, I don't like the cinematic aspect being focused on. That's why I kept telling John, like, when like Oda can't fool me with cinematics, like with the Kaido fight, because I hate it that
coming like Bleach.
Yeah, I hate it like the main. I like instead of obviously not so much the story, but instead of focusing on hype things or adding stuff to the story or character development or even new moves or different ideas, it's so much like, oh, it has to be clean. We have to show the red sparks and the black lightning, and it's like after the Shanks and Whitebeard clash and we saw the sky divide, it was never subtle like that anymore. It was never, oh, okay, the sky.
Like, it couldn't.
Huh?
It couldn't though.
It could have or it couldn't.
It couldn't.
Why not?
Because things can't be subtle forever, unfortunately.
No, that's my point. So that's why I said I liked it up to a certain point. So post time skip, when we just saw Luffy and
let me interject here. Let me quickly interject. The thing is that hopefully I don't forget it. Like, it's the mystique. A lot of the, sometimes it happens with certain characters. When you have a lot of mystique around certain characters and certain arcs, it adds to the quality until you actually get there. If that makes sense.
If it's underwhelming,
pre-time skip is very shrouded in mystique. Now we've got into to these mysterious arcs and characters, and some people are like a little bit underwhelmed, but it's not the writers.
But it's not the mysteries. It's not the mystery that's making it underwhelming.
It's not that.
It's not. And I'm not. Listen. I'm not even saying Gear 5 wasn't cool. When I saw Gear 5 pop up, I'm like, Oda, you're a genius.
That's what I'm saying.
Gear 5. Hold on. Yeah, but I was like, Oda, you're a genius. Not in 1,000 years could I think this would be Gear 5. Do you know what I mean? And when Luffy actually clashed, as much as I was hating on Wano there back then, yeah, bro, I'm telling you right now, to be honestly, when Luffy clashed with Kaido with ACOC, it brought a smile to my face. You know when Thanos said, when Thanos was saying the trailer for the Infinity War, and he was making that quote, this brings a smile to my face, fam. It brought a smile to my face, fam. I'm not saying this is shonen, fam, and I'm not saying that I'm not here for that. I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying? But imagine the lead up to that Gear 5. Imagine the lead up to that clash between Kaido. Now imagine if all the lead up, the setup and all of that, the storytelling everything was consistent. It made me care. I was worried about the characters. I was worried about the nation, and I was invested in Luffy winning imagine how great it would even be. This is why Water 7 as a standalone arc, I think is better than, for example, the War arc, because as a standalone, when we got to the Gear 2nd moment, it's like the things before the Gear 2nd is what made Gear 2nd.
No, chill.
That moment.
Hold on, can I jump in? I want to jump in and say my piece here. The thing is, I think what Worth is saying is right. The only reason that I agree with a lot of the stuff that Worth says about pre-times versus post-times, but the reason I'm gonna go against him is because I think it's very difficult to do it the way Worth wants it to be done and finish it in the genre that it's in. For example, it was always going to be a bigger scale story, and because it becomes bigger scale, scale, there's going to be more characters, and then you're going to lose a bit of investment in some of the characters that you kind of drew up watching.
It needed more.
It's just inevitable. It just happens, isn't it? The type of story, almost like that, you would kind of like would be something that's a little bit more smaller scale. So I'm going to give you like examples of series that are very consistent from beginning to end, but because it's a bit more on a smaller scale in terms of the amount of characters that are used. That's stuff like Full Metal Alchemist, stuff like Attack on Titan, stuff like Death Note. They're all shonens, but if you notice, they're not the same types of shonens the way One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, etc. are.
Look,
One Piece,
I
Bleach,
get
Naruto.
that it's become
Hold on.
difficult.
Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, all those types of shonens, those are battle series shonens, and it's always going to upscale. But the other shonens I mentioned, they're shonens, but they're not battle they're more story and character driven. You know what I mean? So it's just
the reason why I don't agree with your arguments, because I'm not saying that it's not going to become more difficult, but what I'm saying is when you look at the war had many characters, but Oda still pulled it off, and they had many characters, and it still was pulled off. Like Oda still pulled it off. It's the second greatest arc in One Piece, in my opinion.
It's the greatest.
So the fact that just having more characters is he doesn't do himself a favor.
No, but the thing is, the difference between the arc is that he doesn't have to expand on the characters. He didn't have to expand on a lot of the characters that are in it, but eventually he's going to have to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you don't have to expand on all the characters. True. It's just the minor.
You have to do eventually.
No, but all you have to do is just make us care about.
No, I don't agree with that, because hold on. Imagine if he didn't expand on the characters, people are going to be like, bruv, a lot of those characters are wasting time. That's what people are going to say, no? People are going to say that.
What do you mean expand on the characters? I don't get what you're trying to say.
Okay. People at the wall, you said
they didn't have like a backstory,
but they didn't have to at that moment in time. But if One Piece finished, then people be like, those characters are a waste of time. I promise that's what people are going to say.
I don't know what argument you're making, but you know what made the war arc great wasn't even a lot of the cast that were there. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't there. It was literally Luffy,
because it was emotionally driven.
Exactly, and it was only emotionally driven by two characters.
But you didn't have to expand on the rest of the characters because they weren't that.
And you don't have to expand in Wano. You can have many characters. For example, in Wano or Whole Cake Island, you could still have many commanders and characters, but you only need to focus on a few. For example, Katakuri, for example, like we liked him because I liked him. You know, I sympathized with him as a character, and you know what? Do you know what I'm saying? I kind of fought for him. You only had to focus on small characters in order to make that arc emotionally compelling. And the same thing with Wano. I didn't get that in Wano. I didn't get that in Whole Cake. And we only had a snippet with Katakuri. Of
course, because I remember when me and you talked about
Momonosuke. I got that in Whole Cake.
Like, remember when me and you talked about Momonosuke a couple months ago and how he was underwhelming as a character? Like, we literally have a video about it.
100%.
Momonosuke misused.
Yeah, it was trash.
Yeah,
you didn't watch the video.
But if it was well put together, but if it was well put together, we would have cared about it as much as we cared for Vivi. You know what I'm saying? But
of course,
Momonosuke is a worse character than Vivi. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no difference between Vivi and Momonosuke. There's no difference.
The thing is,
but why is it that we care more about Vivi than we care about Momo?
It's a smaller scale, in my opinion.
That's cool.
It's not that small. It's not, Alabasta's a big arc. It's not that small. It's not that small because we had previous arcs before Wano. We had previous arcs that led to Wano. Before Alabasta, we had previous arcs that led to Alabasta. Remember, Vivi was also in those arcs. We spent time with Vivi, and we cared more about Vivi. We cared more about Vivi.
No, I agree with you. I agree. No, obviously, you asked me a question. I'm just answering like it's a smaller scale, so it's easier to do.
No, when you say smaller, it's not that small. What I'm saying is, it's not that the difference isn't that huge. It's not like.
What I mean by smaller scale, because it's only the Straw Hats that were actually just around. But in at Wano, he's now decided to kind of talk, and like there's a lot of characters in it. In Alabasta,
no. Take it back. Take it back.
Really.
No. Take it back. Before we were in Punk Hazard is when we were introduced to Momonosuke. In pre-time skip, we were introduced to Vivi in Whiskey Peak. So it was only small characters. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when we reached Alabasta, we're introduced to more characters. So when we reached Wano, we're introduced to more characters.
The thing is, with your arguments, I'm not actually against your side. I'm actually on your side. But the difference between me and you is that I've accepted it because I knew it was coming from way before. We had the same argument in 2019. This was 4 or 5 years ago. I already told you this was how One Piece was going to go. Like, obviously, I've accepted it. Obviously, Worth didn't accept it. That's the only difference. I already know what Worth is saying. Like, I agree. Like, he's still a hater, but I agree because I'm on his side. But I've accepted it because I think that is just how shonen goes.
Now I'm gonna have to go and pray and ask for forgiveness for being angry. You know what I mean? For being a hater. You know what I mean? You lot made me come on here, and then I started hating.
Crazy.
Who? My signal?
What?
Who's signal?
Your willpower, man. No worries.
Your signal.
Nah, fam.
But do you understand what me and Worth are saying? Like, I'm on Worth's side. The only difference between me and Worth is that I accepted it and I don't really mind.
Yeah, no, I just...
I'm not that serious of a guy.
But I can't accept it.
Worth went to university, found out how to write stuff, and he said, "No, this is shit."
I just don't. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So, but why do I think pre-time skip is not shit then? But I don't think pre-time skip is shit.
Also, you know I've also said sometimes, even though I'm on your side, sometimes I feel like you're a bit unfair on post-time skip because you consume post-time skip in a different way to how you consume pre-time skip. Pre-time skip, you binged and like all in like small scenes. With post-time skip, the difference is you're watching this week to week, you're reading it week to week, and it's easier to dissect.
Yeah, that you could have a point there, and I haven't even gone back to rewatch stuff.
It's more annoying. It's more annoying when things go wrong. And it's
exactly.
more annoying when things go wrong. I gotta wait.
And imagine if we watched hold on. Imagine if we read the the Davy Back fight week to week.
Oh, bro, we said this many times. Let's not do that. There's many arcs pre-time skip that if I watched it week to week, I would have torn my eyebrows off.
Exactly.
Let's not then pre-time skip isn't golden. Let's not forget. Let's not forget pre-time skip. There was at least between arcs, there was always between 1 and 4 episodes of filler. Straight ass filler.
If you take away the filler, I'm trying to take away the filler aspect, but it's right. It's just different. You consume it a bit differently.
It adds to it because if we were watching it week to week, I'm saying the filler adds.
How long did it take you to watch the Davy Back fight? It took you a couple days or maybe a week, right? But how long is it going to take us to watch an arc? The post time, it's taking us years.
Well, Whole Cake is finished now. You know what? Whole Cake is finished now. Wano is finished now. I could guarantee if I was to go back and watch Whole Cake and Wano.
No, but it's not the same because you've already consumed it in a certain type of way.
You're already annoyed. You can't annoy yourself. You already see what's wrong, so you can't unsee it.
No, but I can change my thought. I can I can change.
Of course, you can change your thoughts, but you would have a pre. What is it? English, help me. Pre something.
Preconceived.
He'll have a predisposed notion.
That's exactly what speaks. See, this is why you always use one thing.
It's predisposed notion, man.
This is why I hear what you're saying, but you are a little bit unfair on post-time skip because you do consume it differently, and it's easier to discredit and dissect and all that type of stuff. It's a bit unfair, but I'm still on your side.
Right. Yeah, you better be.
Hey, go ahead, man.
I pause.
But do you hear what I'm saying? Like, Kwame, do you understand what Worth is saying now? Like when he's always hating.
Yeah, no. I get reasons, isn't it? So for me, post-time skip is better than pre-time skip for things like that are other aspects other than the story.
It's more hype. It fits to what the masses probably want.
I don't like the fact I don't like the fact of like even now I stopped watching it. I haven't watched anime for a couple of weeks, innit? But I watched it. Not anime. I've read the manga. I haven't watched the anime because I haven't watched the anime strictly because I hate this new flashy cinematic. The moves are crisp and all that. I prefer
Yeah.
like pre-time skip or early post-time skip kind of things. Now it's
Yeah.
just too. It's like too Dragon Ball
Flashy.
Z-ish kind of. Yeah, it's
Mm.
too. It's too. I don't really like it too much, but it's just like when like Luffy's taking a swing and there's like flower petals going around. It's gold. And
I thought that was cool.
it's like what
I thought that was cool.
fucking. It's like move,
What?
man.
That makes
Lie,
no
man.
sense,
What do
man.
you
Move,
mean,
man.
No, it's
Yeah, like,
no,
move,
I hear
man.
it, but I thought it was
Punch
cool
that
because
face, man. What's
it was
all
meant to
about?
symbolize his haki blooming.
I don't care, man. I don't care.
No, I hear it.
I
Because
really don't care.
I was
Like,
chatting
just
shit
and then things like
that's part of the reason why
I like
haki is confusing because we don't actually
no
know
that's no
what ACLC is,
that's what I
what
was
Rio is, because it's
no
all
that's
kind
what
of
that no wait just wait that's what I was gonna get onto is that the one of the things that the hype things that I liked about post time skip is that Oda after time skip Oda purposely started to show when haki and armament haki was being used, slight black lines, little shadows, that kind of thing, and you could actually even when reading manga or anything, there wasn't a question in
I
in
think they'll still.
pre-time
I
skip.
think
There
you can
was
still
always like,
question
hold
it.
on.
You can still
No,
question because
there were times where you
it's
questioned it.
inconsistent in terms of
Now,
its.
for me, I'm saying for me personally, my understanding of haki, it was clear from a good few
But there
arcs
was no
from
haki
post-time skip.
pre-time skip.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying post. I'm saying the reason I think post was better. I'm saying early on in post, one of the things I liked was that Oda decided he purposefully hid when haki was being used pre-time skip because he didn't want to focus on haki pre-time skip. He even I think he even said this in the SBS that pre-time skip was meant to be it was focus of devil fruits, and he wanted to wait till post-time skip for haki. And you see that in terms of from post-time skip when they're explaining more things about haki and we're seeing Luffy strengthen his haki, things like that, and we see Sanji get it on Zoro start to get it on his swords and that kind of thing, the black marks and the shadowing and all that. I liked it more because it was more hype, showing like, oh shit, these guys are actually improving kind of thing, so we can actually see it, not that we're questioning pre-time skip. Hold on, he's a Logia. How did he touch him? How did he just slap him? And then next time, oh, you're Logia, I can't touch you. All that kind of nonsense. So that's the inconsistency.
I still think the visuals on haki is very inconsistent manga and
no. I think it's gotten inconsistent in joint with the reason I said first that I don't like. It's the cinematic effect when they're trying to put, oh, this one is this color, this one is green, this one is blue. It's none.
But to be fair, even in the manga, it's inconsistent.
When it was armament and the rings or certain visions around their eyes to show observation, and then the black streaks and the black streaks of lightning for conquerors, it was simple. Then when they're doing the Rio is red, Rio is gold or red around the fist, and the ACOC
it makes it inconsistent.
It's the cinematic effect that's made it nonsense. That's where I agree with Worth when he's saying what's it that it's.
But Worth doesn't even watch the anime. He's talking more specifically about the manga because he's a hater of the anime anyway.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm starting to hate on the anime as well. Like, that's why
but in the manga, it's inconsistent in how it's shown because it's black and white. Sometimes it's difficult to actually tell.
But also, it's because of the cinematic effects because they're trying to emulate the drawing.
No. I'm talking about like, in the manga. In the manga, it's inconsistent. No, it's inconsistent. Not inconsistent. In the manga, it's difficult to tell. But in the anime,
that's what I'm
inconsistent.
telling
you. It's both not great. Like both in the manga.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying the reason that it's difficult to see in the manga, not the anime, it's a joint reason. The reason it's difficult to see in the manga is because now they do so much thick black lines and the lightning and the thin black lines, and sometimes it's not there. Whatever it is, to specify the moves that are being used or the haki collision that's happening in that moment in time. But I'm saying the reason it's gotten out of hand now in the manga and it's more difficult to tell than it even was before is because they're doing those drawings in a certain way because that's how it's going to be animated. So because it's going to be animated,
I don't think
it's like
Oda writes stuff to affect I don't think the anime affects the manga. I think the manga affects the anime.
No, that's what I'm saying. Oda has said it. Like the what he draws in the manga, he definitely that. In fact, every manga should do this. You will draw things in a certain way so that when they're creating the anime, it's based off the manga. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
So I'm saying the
Oda's
reason
fault.
that, like, for example, when we see
Yeah,
the
but
clash,
that's not the anime's
no,
fault.
that's
That's
what I'm
Oda's
saying.
fault.
I'm agreeing. I'm not fighting you, bro. I'm agreeing. I know. I'm saying that's the point that I'm agreeing with Worth as well. That when it's getting too cinematic, it's just getting more and more dead. Worth is saying that it's taken away from the story and it's focusing on flashy and cinematic kind of thing. I'm saying I like the hype kind of thing.
No. In the anime, you use the term cinematic and Hollywood, but in the manga, it's hype over substance. Do you get it?
That? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I'm saying the hype in the manga. For example, you see the manga panels that when Shanks destroyed Kid's ship. You see if you remember those panels and how that was drawn, or when Garp did the fist to the island, or when Kobe blew up the island fruit on his hand, or whatever it is. Those scenes are drawn specifically that way. If you go back to those manga panels, it's the move or the actual connection or the contact is so chaotic, because watch how those certain things come out in the anime. It's gonna just be black lightning, red, blue in the sky goes gray. Like, it's gonna be nuts, just to emphasize how hype.
I only think Haki is an inconsistent power system.
I hear you, but when I talk about hype,
he's not talking about the same things that you're talking about.
You're talking about build up as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but when I say hype, though, I'm talking about the cool moments that everybody seems to be in love with, and they're just using that as the standard for how great post time skip is. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I don't like. You know what I mean?
And that's what
it's become more hype over the substance, which is the character, the world building, and the story. And then it's just become One Piece post time skip has just become a moment thing. One was just a moment.
And that's become more of a typical shonen.
And that's what I was saying, that we all agree, because just in different aspects, because I agree with that. I'm just saying my reason for not liking it is the same in terms of it's being taken away from the story, but I don't care too much about the story like you do. But I'm still on that side of what's basically boiling down to ruining the manga or the anime or the show, the actual One Piece right now, is that they're trying to focus too much more on the extravagant, the flashy, the Hollywood.
Yeah, but you're talking more specifically to the anime.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's two.
Yeah, but Worth isn't talking about the anime. He's talking about the series in general, more specifically the manga.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's joint. The reason that they're doing what Worth doesn't like is resulting in what I don't like. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's the same.
For example, it's like if Worth was to name one thing in the manga, or that takes away from the story, that's pointless, or that isn't necessarily supposed to happen or go like that they're basically stretching, that he doesn't like. I guarantee.
I think he's talking, like, obviously, Worth, you can correct me, but I think he's talking about moments, not in terms of like, he's not talking about scenes. He's talking about like moments.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying those moments will be extra emphasized in the anime, not just.
Yeah, but he's not talking about the anime. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm joining the 2 points. I've been saying it like 7 times. I said I agree with that, but that's Worth's side with the story aspect. I'm saying what it takes away from and results in also affects my enjoyment as well in what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing.
Well, that's a subcategory, man. No one cares about that, man.
Nigga.
But I think Haki is an inconsistent power system anyway, regardless.
I think it only is. I think it only is since the introduction of ACOC. No, sorry, Rio. Since the introduction of Rio. Before Rio, I think it was perfect.
I think it's. But the reason I think it's inconsistent is just due to how far can you take the concept of willpower, and how far can you stretch it? Also, part of the reason I think it's inconsistent is just sometimes it's just hard to tell where things are happening. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know when someone is using observation haki, and really and truly, like, it should be
You
used
do.
all the time, but it's like there's too many like gray areas within these like things, especially more so with observation. Like, there's too gray, in my opinion.
For me,
But how much you can
before
stretch it.
before Rio, it was clear.
I think Rio is stupid, personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Because remember when it first
Before the
came out, I was
introduction of
like,
that,
this is becoming too much of an aura system, and willpower is not meant to be an aura system.
yeah, I'm saying when you dad, nah, I'm going to talk about this kind of fight all day, man. Let's go,
Listen,
man.
those things, yeah. Listen, the things that
Even
you
when
know.
Luffy, why was Luffy glowing gold without the white hair? Why was he
Yeah,
glowing?
but
Why was
that's
he
but that's
glowing
a
gold?
visuals thing. You're talking about the
It's
anime.
a
That's a
trash
visuals
thing,
thing.
man. It's not no aura thing, man. It's a dead.
It's
No,
still,
no.
it still does take away in the anime anyway. It still does take away from the story. It's still flashy stuff
Yeah, 100%.
over substance as well. Fair enough, but what I'm saying is those things, yeah, in the grand aspect of everything, yeah, it's just a minor thing. One of the
It's minor
the
stuff.
other
That stuff
reason,
is minor, man.
no. It's a listen. You need for like in order for your story to work.
Depends what you like, innit?
You need a consistent, cohesive world. You know what I mean? Things have to make sense. You know, but one of the major things when it comes to a story that post time skip is lacking, that pre time skip managed to do it well, not great but well, is consequences. And post time skip has just been so bad. In order for a
I don't
story
think
to
three
even
times
have
give
any
even those
more
consequences
emotion,
that well.
no, what
Nah,
I'm saying,
it did.
it did it
I'm,
better than.
I'm fully
I'm not
on
saying
board
great.
with that. It did.
I'm not
I'm
saying
fully
it
on
was
board.
great. I'm saying it's better than time. It did it better than time skip.
Okay,
that's
so
one
because I don't think
major
three times the
100.
consequences are great, but I can agree with you. It's better than post
Nah,
time.
bro, when Aokiji bucked the crew, I felt it, bro. When Aokiji froze
Consequences
Luffy,
become harder to
I
do
said,
when your
yo.
characters become stronger,
When we're impelled down, I felt it.
because our characters are weak. The characters are weak.
No. Okay, actually, yeah, you could say that.
Like, when the characters
Touche,
become stronger,
touche.
the consequences feel weaker because they're stronger. You know what I mean?
Touche.
Like,
No, but
that's just
you can
You
still
expect
devise.
more.
No, you can still devise.
expect more.
No, it's true.
devise,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you the reasons why it can feel a bit weaker post time skip, because our characters are now stronger.
No, it doesn't matter. Honestly,
And we
it
know
doesn't
what the strongest is meant to look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can kind of
honestly, it doesn't matter. For example, one of the things that hurt me so bad is one of the things that I just don't want to talk about. I don't want to hate. Just leave me alone, man. Just end the stream, Dave.
That sounds like a woman.
End the stream, fam.
No, this part of the stream isn't. After we stop talking about the Kaido versus Big Mom, this is just kind of random shit. I'm not adding in any of this stuff.
End the stream, bro. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
the stream ended about half an hour ago.
One of the things is, like, people tell me, like, I don't know what to think anymore. Maybe you guys can help me in it.
We're still live, you know.
I know I can see it's recorded, but maybe you
guys
guys.
It's basically ended about half an hour ago.
Oh, so no.
But what you guys can probably help me about is, because for me, actually, I don't want to talk about that aspect. That will make me more angry. But what I was gonna say is, it's like I started to take One Piece less seriously, and I started to take Oda less seriously when, for instance, like you as a main villain, you're fighting against, from Kaido's perspective, Luffy is the villain. That's how a villain should always look at things. From his perspective, I'm right, you're wrong, and I'm doing my best to get rid of you so I can accomplish my plans. Do you know what I mean? Now, you've deaded a guy. Forget the fact that Luffy was knocked out 3 times, which obviously was knocked out 3 times, and he keeps coming back, and he even died and he comes back to life. Not only does that, like, take away from all the stakes in your story. It's like, oh, you know what? I don't even care because he'll just come back. Do you know what I'm saying? He will just come back. So there's no point. Not only did that take you out of the fight, take you out of the story, say, I can't take this serious anymore. Because even if it's a kid's show like Avatar, you're still supposed to be involved, invested in the story. You're still supposed
Did
to
that
say,
not happen pre-time skip though?
no, no, wait, what? You can't even bring time skip. No, that didn't happen in pre-time
No, but it
skip.
happened in
Especially-
pre-time skip. Like
No, it
Luffy
didn't.
lost
Crocodile,
a lot of
crocodile.
these characters 3 times.
No,
Crocodile,
no, it's the
Nell,
way.
etc.
No, that's not the
Crocodile,
thing. The
crocodile.
point is how you do it. My problem is how it's done. My problem is how it's done and it's how you make it look believable.
It goes back to John. No, but no,
It's believability.
Worth. It goes. No, but worth. I hear what you're saying. You're right, but you're actually correct. But it goes back to the point that John said of what's it? It's because the characters are weaker. So because the characters are weaker pre-time skip, then there's going to be more life or death situations.
Okay,
so
let me finish my point then about
it's a moot
post-time
point.
skip. No, it's not. Let me finish my point about the example that I was trying to give. So, boom, Kaido knocks this guy out. He gets knocked out in the water. Conveniently, who you find there? Law's crew. But I'll just leave that problem there. I'll just leave it there. It's just a major convenience that he gets knocked out and Law's crew was there. And a lot of people even called this out already. That's how you know it's just
He's
a bit basic. But I'll leave that.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Yes, I can.
Because
I'll just leave it because it's too convenient. Forget it. But that's not my point. You don't have to respond to that. It's not my main point. Just leave it. Just leave it, man.
Go on.
It's not my main point. My main point is he gets knocked out.
Yeah, go.
And then Kaido comes. He was like, fam, I've eliminated your big guy. And he goes down to Luffy's crew. Everybody's there, blah, blah, blah. Fam, this is your time to wipe out the Straw Hats. Prove to me that you're actually a competent villain. Go and actually start hurting them. Do you know what this guy does? He just goes spewing fire randomly. I'm like, you fucking idiot of an incompetent, useless villain. Like, do something.
You know
Be
you're
a
right
threat.
about all of that.
You idiot.
He's right about all of that.
Like-
but the reason why I'm not going to take it seriously is because if you really want to nitpick any perfect arc he thinks is perfect in pre-time skip, you can find the same fucking thing.
No, it's not the same.
Yes, it is.
It's
It
not
is.
the
It
same.
is. You just
Okay,
don't
give
wanna
me an
see it.
example. Give me an example.
Bro,
Pre-time.
I was just about. That's easy.
Every arc.
See,
Look,
I
everything
was-
you said is.
I'll give you.
present
I was just.
arc pre-time skip. It's a
Bro,
present.
I
It's
was
because you want
just
to
about
notice
to
it.
give you.
Bro,
I was
give me
just
an
about.
example and I'll tell you how it was well
I was
done.
just about to
I'm
give
not
you an
saying that it
example.
might not
Yeah,
be. No,
I'm
I'm
saying-
not saying it's not. I'm not saying it might
Hold on,
not be.
hold on,
It's about how it's
let me
done.
Everything
It's how
that
it's
Wolf
done.
has said, if you want to see it, you'll see it. It's because you chose to notice it post
No.
time.
I'm not
I know-
nitpicking.
no, It's
how it's
I
done.
agree. I'm
saying
saying
how
I was
it's
just about
done.
to give him an example before. I'm saying
go on.
before you even finished, I was already about to give you the same example. Is that when Luffy fought Crocodile, the same way you're saying, or you said before, coincidentally, Law was there. Coincidentally, in the desert where it never rained in
Wait,
how many
Crocodile.
years because of
Yeah.
Crocodile, it started raining. That's how Luffy survived. When Luffy beefed Crocodile,
No, that
3
was his.
times,
No, that was
the
his
sec-
water. That was his spit. What are you talking about? It wasn't rain. That was his spit. It was
wasn't
done.
his spit.
It was. I'm not saying it was. No, it
wasn't
was
his
something
spit, man.
water that he already had.
It dripped
No,
down.
it
It
wasn't
dripped down
rain.
from
No, that's a lie. No, that's not factual. And that's not factual. It was set up. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that that problem wasn't there pre-time. I'm saying it's how it's done. And I'm not saying it was greatly done when water came down Luffy's mouth and he fingered it. I'm saying how it's done. And I'm saying it wasn't rain out of nowhere. But it's just facts that it wasn't rain out of nowhere. It was something that he spewed out and then it came down. That you can say, oh, come on, man. But it was there and it was done better than what they did post-time skip. It's how it's done. It's not about these things being like not being done with post-time skip. It's how it was handled. It's how you handle them.
I don't
Who's
agree,
making
man.
this, fam?
I don't agree,
Fam,
man. I just
Kwams
think
is saying no. Kwams is saying that I don't know if you remember, but Kwams is saying that it was rain or water out of nowhere. It rained in the desert.
it's from the dance powder.
It's from something that he had when he was fighting.
It was from the dance powder.
Fam, it would. I don't know. I can't remember it fully. It's a bit vague in my
See,
mind.
it's
But
because you can't remember. If you want to go
no,
back and
but I know for a
you'll find the same stuff. It's because you just chose to highlight it in post time skip. It's
no.
all
The
there.
point is how it's done. It was set up brilliant. It was
You can't
set
even
up in a
remember
good
what
way.
happened, bro.
Oh, fine. Let me go search for it then. No,
Search, you can't even remember, bro.
no, but I can search for it. I can search for it.
No, it's not the same thing because it's an. You have to watch the arc. This happened like
no, it's just a
2001.
moment. No. It's a moment. Oh, let me just go.
No,
look
but you
for
said
it.
about the setup is how it's done, so it's a setup. No,
Which is a yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's
but
how you
setup,
handle something.
You can't watch the setup from a 2-minute video on YouTube. You need to watch the whole arc to see how all the stuff comes together.
No, but what? Yeah, but yeah.
Am I lying?
No, but if you're saying that it was what did you call it? Raindrop? What did you call
It
it?
was the dance powder.
Yeah,
If
the
you
dance
was in the
powder
desert-
thing. So yeah, but so it coming back to his mouth, you can't say, oh, where did this come from? You can't say that because he was already set up. The dance powder was already set up. Do you know what I'm saying? You can get away with it because of how you handled it. Do you know what I'm saying? But how do you get away with the fact that you just washed the
So
captain?
you're
and
saying
you dropped
when
down?
you watched all that stuff in Alabaster, you're thinking, this is really good setup. Bruv, there's so many things in pre-timeskip that we would say was dumb. It just happened.
Yes.
It's like
Sure.
it just happened.
No, it's
But
how
bruv,
it's how they're
but
handled.
no, but it's dumb. That stuff with Luffy knocking out Enel with gold on his arm is dumb. All that stuff we see, Nightmare, it's dumb stuff. It's just you choose to highlight it post time skip, then
But
pre
that's
time skip.
got that knocking
not
with the
about how it
gold
happened
thing.
because
There's
it wasn't-
nothing wrong with that.
because it
What's
wasn't
wrong
really
with
good.
him knocking him with the gold thing? What's wrong?
That was
You
so
know what I mean?
dumb.
But that's not even what I'm talking about.
It's
I'm talking about
inconveniences.
consequences. I'm not talking about conveniences. I'm talking about consequences.
You was the one who wanted to use the example of Luffy fought Kaido 3-4 times and this and that. The same things you were saying in that argument are the same things you could use in a lot of the arcs pre-time skip.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is how they are handled is what makes
And
it
they weren't
different.
handled.
I'm not saying that Luffy can't lose
Alabasta-
3 times.
Look,
I'm saying
the
how
problem
do you
that-
handle him
that
losing
was-
3 times
I don't know if
without you
if
destroying
I'm the only one
the
who
state.
remembers this, but I remember lots of people complaining about how Luffy defeated Crocodile. Am I lying? Or am I lying?
No, but I think it was handled better.
So shit from me is different from shit from you. Just because it stinks a little bit
But
less.
I think we can all come to an agreement on how something was handled in a way that makes sense.
But it's not good though. Just because this is a
But it's
5
not. I
out
don't
of 10,
think it was
it doesn't
bad.
mean it's.
I don't think it was
just because
bad.
that's a 5 and that's a 4, it doesn't mean it's good. They're both shit.
I don't think it was bad though.
You don't think anything?
I think it was
pre-time skip is
handled well. No, that's not true.
bad. It's bad. Where's Kwame?
Funny, I can find this.
What is Kwame in the?
He's not.
Hold on, let me. He's downstairs. Let me go upstairs and see if he's backstage.
Wait, your computer's not with you. What?
I'm on my phone. I'm downstairs. He's backstage. Sorry about that, Kwame.
No, it's gone still. But yeah, fam. Hey, well, it's the same shit still.
I mean, it's how things are handled.
And a lot of the stuff about how things are handled, you can't even really remember because
It wasn't
happened so
handled
long
that
ago.
much differently.
No, it's how they're handled. Let me see.
You
It
can't just
wasn't
type
handled
it
that
in
much. It
on
wasn't handled
Google
that much
and
differently.
see.
The same way,
It's not something you can just type in.
the same way Kaido left Luffy for dead twice. Crocodile did the
Crocodile
same thing.
done the same thing.
At
But
one
it's how
point,
they're done.
at one
It's
point,
how
No,
they're
it wasn't
done.
good. No, bro, it wasn't good. Let's not
No,
lie. It
it's
wasn't
how
good.
they are done. I'm talking
But
about. Listen, the
I'm
example
saying,
that I gave was after Luffy got knocked out by Kaido. What
And
I wasn't even
some
talking about the free fights. That's not
also,
what I'm
you
talking
can't even
about.
remember how he got the water. That's what I'm saying. You can't
That's
even
not a
remember
problem. I
that.
can just go back and read it.
No, that is what I'm saying. You can't just type in a moment for something that's meant to be built up. You need to watch the whole thing.
Nah,
You can't
that's
just type in and
nonsense.
watch
You
a
don't have
2 minute
to watch
thing.
the whole thing. No, I'm not trying to watch a 2 minute thing. I'm just trying to read on how he survived his first encounter with Crocodile. That's all I need to know.
he did. Oh, bro.
And also, my example wasn't about the free fights, blah blah blah
Do you
blah blah.
understand what I was saying about Kwame when I was saying the way you consume One Piece is different from like 3 times, but it's different. Like some,
Yeah.
you
I
can't.
think.
With
I think
post-time
that's
skip,
the
you
most.
can nitpick because it's so easy to do it because you read it once a week. Pre-time
I
skip,
think.
you don't.
I think
And
that's.
we're not even
I think
talking
that's
about
the
it.
most. What's it? Wait. I think that's the most valid point of the stream. To be fair, is that because in pre-time skip, because I would agree with Worth to the extent of pre-time skip to me seems more cohesive. It seems more structured and put together. But I think that's because you're in the early stages of a story. You're just putting everything together and your world building and things like that. And it's a new element to us when you're just the first 500 episodes up until that war and all that. It was new. It was exciting. It was never done like that before. Following one specific character and then there's 10 main characters basically in one crew. All that kind of aspect to it. It was much more cohesive. But I think the main point that I agree with is the reason for the reason for those things would be because I watched it all in succession. I remember like the first time John showed me One Piece. I think
You
I
watched
watched
it in a couple months.
bro months. I swear I was in college in the them PCs or whatever. I was bunking my lessons for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I watched 450 episodes. I was at
You
the
know what I
war.
mean? It's not
I
the
was
same.
at the
Like,
war.
do you know what I mean?
What?
Like, if you're watching
2 weeks.
hundreds of
Every
episodes
single day.
in days and weeks,
I'll come
it's
into
not the
college
same
and then
thing,
secure a computer at the back. Literally.
bro. We have spent 2, 3, 4 years on One Up, and we talk about it every week, every chapter.
It's because and it's not even a bad thing because if we were to that's the point we're saying. We're all saying the same things, which is if we watched what me and John are saying is if we watched the pre-time skip week to week.
And
we'd
I
have
even have an example of someone, a friend, who
Go on.
literally watched One Piece, literally over the last couple months from beginning to end. I've asked him, "What do you think about pre-time skip versus post-time skip?" He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say, "Oh shit," or this and that. He doesn't think anything because he watched it all at once, all in like 2-3 months.
That's what I was gonna say. I think me and John we're all kind of saying the same thing. It's more so that me and John are basically saying, that if it was because we watched pre-time skip kind of all at once, then we're more or most of not all of it, most of pre-time skip all at once, then it was more we could block out the bad bits, ignore
You
that.
don't even have time to speak about it because we didn't even speak about it.
Yeah, and just focus on the good bits. But with post-time skip, we're just saying it might have been the same quality because pre-time skip, if you watch it week to week, we might have similar complaints. So the complaints that Worth actually has aren't actually wrong complaints. He's actually right in what he's saying.
The problem isn't even wrong,
It's
but
just
it's
just a comparison. It's just a comparison is off because it's judged wrongly. Because one was watched all at once, and one you could take more time to dive into week to week and all the mistakes that were made.
How many times have I said in streams like we got shorts and videos what I've said? Me and Worth were talking about, and me and Kwame was talking about. We have shorts and videos. Whatever. If One Piece was to be released on a week-to-week basis today, it probably would get cancelled before it even gets to Alabasta. Not because it's bad.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
It's more of a fast-paced time. It's a faster pace. We need like Jujutsu Kaisen.
Can
We
I
can't have
find this
Like,
thing?
imagine
we can't have
watching, like we just said,
we can't have
Davey
filler.
Black fight is a whole arc. I like it because I watched it in one day. It's a whole arc. Imagine that.
I can't even
watch
find
that
this
week
thing.
to week.
I can't even find this thing, but from what I remember, let me just going back to what I was saying.
I'll find the reason for you. 1 second.
No, you know, I already know it on top of my head. The first time he encountered Crocodile, he lost. Do you know who helped him?
It was Robin, no?
Robin, yeah. So you can't call that a convenient. There was because there's a reason why Robin helped him. Or it turns out he was a D and he wanted to see what a D could do. The second time he encountered Luke, and that was perfectly fine. That was a good, compelling reason. Do you know what I mean? Like this was no convenience. So I'm just saving you because whatever. No, there was a good reason why Robin saved him. And then on the second encounter, he now figured how to fight Crocodile. So he carried water with him. And when Crocodile drained him of his water, it's the water that when he dodged water, he spat out water. And then that water is the same water that came down. Now you can say, come on, but that was
That
set
is
up
the
nicely.
dumbest thing I've
No,
ever
but that
heard.
was,
My
but it was
God,
still
come
it was
on.
still set
Oh
up
my-
nicely.
come
It was
on,
still
Worf,
set up
please.
nicely.
You don't-
And then
you don't
on the
need to
last
do
fight,
this.
he was using his blood. And
Worf,
the last
Worf,
fight,
you
he
don't
was
need to
using
do
it's better. But I don't know why we even got sidetracked because I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the after losing against Kaido for I think the third time.
Kwame,
or
did
second
you hear the
time.
example that he used to justify his point? Luffy
Yeah, I
slapped
don't
water out,
agree.
and then it came in and it hit him back. And you're telling me, come on, man, is this Looney Tunes?
Fam,
Man,
it's what I'm
That-
saying.
You know what he's
saying-
telling us? He basically telling us that it's not silly that one drop of water hydrated his whole body. He's trying to get away with that. That's what he's trying to
what
get
I'm
away
trying
with.
to
He's trying to
say
get
is-
away with murder.
what I'm trying
This
to
is
say.
what- this
I'm
is
not.
what
I'm
I
trying to
don't
say
like
it was
here.
set up fine. I'm saying the setup was there though.
That is not fine. That's stupid. This is
That's
what I
not
don't
fine,
like about
bro.
niggas. This is what I
But
don't
hold
like
on,
about niggas.
this is not
There's
what
nothing
even.
wrong
This is
with
not
being
what I'm
wrong
talking about. No,
I
I
don't like
get
it
it.
when people
I
lie
know.
to further.
No,
their
I'm
agenda.
not lying though. I'm not lying to further my agenda. This is not even what we were talking about. I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about Kaido's inaction to actually be a threat towards Luffy's crew when Luffy was out cold. This is what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about, consequences. And I was talking about this is what I was talking about, consequences. And I was talking about when there's no consequences, it takes
was-
you out of the fight
bro,
and it takes you out of the story.
And that's what. Wait, John, let me take this, please.
Go on.
That's it. That's exactly what we've been trying to explain to you. Wait, Worth, just wait, without interrupting. Let me just explain. It was the exact same because moving on. Let's move on from the water and the spit take and the hydration. That's fine. Moving on from that.
No.
What you're explaining that Kaido did when Luffy was out cold and incapacitated, Crocodile did the exact same thing. Just wait. On Kaido's one, Luffy was out cold. Crocodile put the crew in a torturous environment and said he's gonna burn everybody in the building or whatever he's doing. He's doing the fire. Your complaint is that
No, drain. He was gonna like use water or something like that.
what?
Was in which
I'm saying Kaido, bro.
Oh, you're talking about Kaido, yeah.
I'm saying your main complaint is that when Kaido knocked Luffy out, he wasn't a danger to the crew. So you're saying that instead of doing the fire breathing into the building or around or destroying other bits and all that, he should have attacked the crew directly. Yes, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, if he wants to be a serious villain.
Okay. Pause there. Now I'll tell you, Crocodile did the exact same thing because when Luffy was out cold in the desert or he was doing the spit take to get hydration, what Crocodile did was instead of attacking his crew directly, he trapped his crew underground in the casino or underneath.
You're talking about two separate events. No, you're conflating two separate events.
Just wait.
No, but you can't go forward because you're conflating two events. Let me just tell you the facts so that you can move forward.
I haven't.
No,
I'm explaining the event and why it's not because I have it on my.
No, but you
screen
just
right now.
mix them because the point where we have
Bro,
Crocodile.
I have it on my screen right
Crocodile.
now.
When Robin saved Luffy, his crew had already left. Remember, his crew
I'm
left.
not talking
Luffy
about
behind.
that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're not following what I'm saying. I can repeat it if you want to, bro. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I didn't mention Robin. I never mentioned Robin. Robin's not involved. That Robin is not on my screen right now. I'm watching the fight right now. That's what I'm telling you. I'm saying the final fight when Luffy had been washed twice, the same as Kaido. Luffy, when he first met Kaido at the beginning of Wano, when he first thought he was bad, Thunder Bagua before, and he went to prison. The second time, he thought he was bad and he almost died. The third time of the fight of when he's gone Gear 5 is when he's bust Kaido. The same with Crocodile. He's been beaten twice, and on the third occasion, he busts it. And I'm watching right now, the last time when he bust the Gatling and bust Kaido, bust Crocodile through the ceiling, like I was saying earlier, it broke into the building where Sanji and them man were trapped and the water was filling up.
Wait, what? That sounds like two separate. Because from my memory, when they got captured with Smoker, with Tashigi, with Luffy, and then he filled the place with water so that they can all. He filled the place with water. That's separate from the final fights. No. It seems like you're mixing up those two events.
I'll pull it back.
Hold on, but even if he's not, wouldn't that be in what's the word that Worf like to say? Incompetent from Crocodile?
No. I'm saying I'm gonna redo it now. But my point is, even if so, that's I'm just saying the actions are the same. Forget the result or whoever won or however many times and all that. Forget that. The exact thing you're complaining about, Crocodile did. Instead of attacking the crew, he entrapped them. That's the main thing. Luffy wasn't there. He bossed Luffy at a certain point. Luffy wasn't there. He wasn't with the crew to protect them. Crocodile wasn't fighting anybody. He just left the crew.
Wasn't Luffy the only time I remember Crocodile trapping them, the crew inside the cage was when he trapped all of them inside the cage, including Luffy.
Okay, then
that's the only time they were all. That was the only time they were all in Thingy. Yeah, but he had the. Can't you see he had the plan? His plan was to flood the whole place.
And I'm saying,
you love to say. Let me just jump in. You love to say these characters are incompetent because they didn't do A, B, and C. The same characters that you're saying aren't incompetent are doing the same things as the characters that are like incompetent post-time. They're doing the same thing. We're just not giving them the same treatment. It's the same thing.
That's all I'm saying is the comparison, the similarities to, Luffy got trapped in prison. Kaido could have killed him, but he said, no, I'm going to break your will. He had a plan. Crocodile, whatever plan he had, that's his business, but he did the exact same action. They both had
different. Because Crocodile was in a hurry to do something. Kaido wasn't in a hurry.
Come on, Worf.
I'm not. Crocodile. They were trapped in a cage. Crocodile was in a hurry to do something. They were already trapped in a cage.
So
Luffy, kill them one by one.
So hold on, Luffy, who is a threat to his plans directly, along with other Marines, he doesn't want to kill them to stop them. But then he
did want to kill them. That's why they were trapped in a cage, and then he threw the key inside the crocodile and he flooded them.
That's how he wanted to kill them. Trying to kill man. That means he's incompetent because he didn't try to kill a direct threat. No,
he's competent because he was on his way to do something to accomplish his plans. Yeah, he was in a hurry. And so they were trapped in a cage. He threw the keys inside the crocodile's mouth and he flooded the whole place. Thereby,
you're not meant to flood him, you're meant to try and kill him.
Oh my god! Either way, what I'm saying is, that's better than what Kaido did.
What did Kaido do?
What?
Nothing.
He went to screw fire. What would have been competent of Crocodile was to trap them in the cage, and then raise his right hand or left or his nose and just
Kill
fill the
them.
whole and just fill the whole room with sand.
Just kill them straight away, just like that.
That's
You could do
it. And everybody suffocates, and that's it. Just fill the whole room. Tables, tornado.
Now
Boom,
that's just
that's
silly.
it.
Now you're just making up stuff. That's just silly. He did the most competent thing he could have done, which
By
was
putting
more
them in a
competent
cage
than what Kaido
and try to flood them
than
like
what
this is
Kaido
flipping.
than what Kaido did. Anyway,
Man
it's
thought-
2
I'm
a.m.
saying, putting
man-
these
2
guys in a
a.m.
cage and flooding them like this
Man
is
thought
no one-
flipping.
Man thought no one could swim. He thought it was
It's 2
Nigeria.
a.m. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
I'm saying,
I need to
cool,
cut.
cool,
as
I'm
well
gonna
to
cut.
about five.
I'm gonna cut. But all I'm saying is that the same problems you have with post-time skip, if you want to look at it, are present in pre-time skip. It's just you chose
Yeah,
not to
but
look
they
at
were
it.
handled better. Yeah, but they were handled
Okay.
better.
No, you
Oh.
you accepted them better.
Two clap girls are the same. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The red claps, the red claps.
What?
You just 1 to 5 and 1 to 4.
What are you
I
talking
said it was
about?
handled better. Who cares? That's like when
It was
England
handled
say,
better.
yeah,
That's why it's
we're not
important.
racist. Yeah, we're
No,
less
it's
racist than France. Who cares?
No, that's
We're
not.
racist.
That's just a different example. That's nonsense. How you handle something
good, though.
as a
It's not
writer.
good. It's
no,
not good.
no, certain things can't be avoided, but how you handle them, you can hide. You can write them in a skillful way whereby you can hide that it's even happening. That's what it means to handle something well.
I don't care about that type of stuff. But you clearly you do, which is fine. But it's not. You're making it seem like it's not present in pre-time skip and it's present in post-time skip. That's what I'm saying. That's what.
I didn't
That's
say
that's
that,
how
but
you're talking.
it was skillfully handled. What I'm trying to say is pre-time skip. It was skillfully handled then post-time skip. That's what I'm saying.
And what we're saying is that your perception is off just because of how you took in the information.
That's
You see it differently.
If you
and
watch
see it,
Alabasta
you see it as more skillful
yeah,
because you saw
you're
100
not saying the
episodes
stuff.
in a week. That's what we're saying. Because and we agree, and
I'm
we
not
agree with you
disagreeing
that
with that in whole.
but see, Worth,
I agree with what you're saying. I understand.
Worth, that don't get us wrong as well. We're agreeing with you in the sense of to us as well, it feels different. We just understand why that is. The reason it feels different is because we understand that we watched the bulk of episodes at once. So we probably ignored a lot of stuff that now, because we're watching it at a slower pace, that we're now noticing more and more and more. So I was saying earlier, we all basically agree. We're just saying it like, well, we all agree that it feels different. You're saying it feels different.
I'm
because
accepting it.
It's done worse. We're saying it feels different because of how we read it, how we perceived it.
No, but I think it's worse.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. The difference isn't in the product; it's in our thought process. That's what we're saying. We're saying that you actually think it. We all watch the same things, and we all agree that it feels different. But the only difference is that me and John are saying that it feels different because of how we perceived it, of how we thought what we were watching was that, but we actually saw it as that. Because we watched it in a bulk sum. Now that we're watching it at a slower pace, we see it for what it really is. You're saying that prior it was one way, and now it's changed to a worsened state. We're just saying that no, we recognize that it was always this bad.